Hey everyone, how's it going? Azren here. Hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, I want to talk about some of my personal language learning strategies and methods. So in other words, I want to talk about some of the things that I do personally when I'm learning a language. Now, the number one thing for me is when I'm learning language, I need to travel to a country that speaks the language that I'm learning. So for example, let's use French. So French, I've been learning French since I was 5. So it's been like 19 years that I've been speaking French. That is a freaking long time. But let me tell you something. From the age of 5 to the age of 15, my French was pretty freaking garbage actually. It was not all that great. Then I was 15, I lived in France for 3 months, and that changed everything. Because for me, for my learning style, for the way my brain works, when I'm immersed in a culture and I'm speaking the language and I'm using the language more than I'm using my own first language, so when I'm using French more than I'm using English, my brain somehow finds it easier to understand the language and finds it easier to absorb that language. I also like traveling to a country because when you are living in a different country that speaks the language you're trying to learn, there's a lot of scenarios and a lot of situations that you're going to encounter that you would never encounter in your own hometown. So for example, like maybe if you're in a country, you get sick, you have to go to the doctor, and you're going to have to use a very different vocabulary than you would at home. Or maybe something in your apartment breaks when you're traveling, or something breaks and you need to call a repairman. You're going to need a very different type of language and vocabulary than you would in a standard classroom here in your hometown. Meaning, so for me, I like to travel because it puts me in very uncomfortable situations that I would never encounter if I don't travel. I think another thing for me is I tend to go a little bit more conversation first. And when I say a little bit more, I mean a little bit more. I mean, I do maybe 51% conversation, 49% reading and writing. So it's super close. And you might be thinking, why is it such a tiny difference? Well, the reality is, even though I believe for me, conversation first is more important and it works for me a lot more and it works for me really well, I love the writing side of things. I like all of that. I mean, I like traditional classroom learning. I like it. I like taking language classes. I've taken university classes. University classes for every single language that I've learned apart from Gujarati. It's the only language that I haven't taken university classes for. Only because they actually aren't offered. I actually tried to take a Gujarati credit course, but the class was canceled. So I love it because, and I know even some of you who follow me, you don't agree with me on this, but that's okay. We can all have our different opinions. It's why I love languages. I really believe that taking standard classroom education, like university, high school, that kind of style of learning, I do believe it gives you a very deep understanding of the language. I think you can learn a lot more about the grammar, you can become a strong writer, you can read academic texts, you can speak at a very high register, you can sound very professional. Like, there's a lot of benefits to standard classroom learning, and I really do think I love it. I really do think I love it. What a strange sentence. Anyway, I love it. So I like that. I always have a conversation focus that's always happening. So things like italki, hello talk, language exchanges, all of that stuff. Amazing. I love it. The last big thing that's coming to mind for me, at least in this moment, is I'm always adjusting. So what I mean by that is I'm always, when I'm learning a language, I'm always kind of evaluating how I think my current strategy is going. For example, you guys have seen in my vlogs that I'm doing a lot of focus on Gujarati right now. And my current focus on Gujarati, my current thinking on strategy, and actually, let's back up, my previous thinking on strategy was, I'll just find language exchange partners and just talk with them. I'll learn by talking. Listen, that didn't really work for me. I thought it would work. Pretty freaking challenging. Number one, not many native Gujarati people who are on sites like italki, things like that, who want to do a lot of language exchanges. So that's really hard. And the second thing was I found that when I was doing it, the learning wasn't fully sticking. So I decided, crap, I was wrong. That's not working. Change my approach. Now I'm focusing heavy on learning the alphabet and learning reading and writing. Why? because now what I want to do is I actually want to go and read a lot of things online, because there is a lot of stuff on Gujarati you can read online. I want to read stuff in Gujarati, learn vocabulary that way and learn that way. Then my next step is going to be listening to Gujarati videos on YouTube to practice listening, building vocabulary, continuing to do that, getting used to different accents, different dialects, building that. And as I'm learning, I'm going to practice speaking, yes, with language exchange partners, because I found a really good one that I like, but also with my own family. I'll just use the different words that I'm learning with my own family. And that's going to be my speaking practice. And so I changed my approach, because the language exchange partner approach wasn't working. It wasn't working the way I wanted it to. And so that's the biggest thing, I think, for me, the most important thing when it comes to me learning languages, is that I'm always adjusting, always changing, always evaluating what's working, what's not working, what could be going better, etc. So, quite the rant. Hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.